Welcome back to another part of the Infectious Madness of Dr. Dekker. We're starting where we left off so abruptly. We're talking to Bryce about some crazy shit. But we've asked him all the questions we could. At the moment, I'm gonna say sleeping pill.
Yes, that does sound weird, doesn't it? I take the temazepam as an antidepressant when I feel I need a little...
Oh. Little chemical help.
I have no idea what...
Well, you just said it. You just said it. What do you mean? Okay.
I'm Jasmine.
Jasmine.
I don't come in that often. What happened to Dr. Dekker?
He was murdered.
Oh. When? How? Sorry, you probably don't know, do you?
I don't know. Do I? Do I know? Do you know? He was stabbed to death.
Didn't really know him that well. I'm trying to remember what I was doing on Valentine's Day now.
How did you know it was Valentine's Day?
I had to work all day at Providence.
Providence? What?
When you see a painting, it stands still.
Oh.
When I see one, it's moving. Like a mini film. Like
in
rhymes.
Harry Potter.
But when there's a person in the painting...
Do they speak to you? Ma'am? Excuse me? They speak to you, ma'am? Hello?
They watch me.
What the fuck?
Normally,
like we're in a haunted house. What? Bro, are you sure you're not projecting your own disappointment of yourself?
Because they don't think I know how to appreciate art. Because I'm too young. Yes, of course. Otherwise I wouldn't be working in an art gallery. I love art. I love paintings. Like I said, they move for me.
Good one. Good one, Jasmine. Good one. Good one. Nice.
When I want them to, normally. When I want to really get inside what's going on. But some paintings, I can't stop.
Wonder how crazy this one's gonna get. Like, whoa. 2 hours played. I got an achievement for playing this game for 2 hours. Where's my glasses cleaner? It like blends in with my bed, so I don't... Where art thou? Where is my glasses cleaner? I thought I just had it. What the fuck? What the... What in... Tarnation? What in tarnation? Huh. Great, I'm just gonna be blind. I knew I had it. I was cleaning it on my blanket for now, so I can find it. I didn't really do anything. Awesome. Fantastic.
I've been working on portraits at home, outside work. But my paintings aren't so good. Nowhere near Providence standard. I painted a man, Dorian. You know, after Dorian Gray. I wanted to try and capture someone aging, so I divided the face into thirds and painted a boy, his father, and his grandfather in each third. It was hideous. And it started talking to me.
Oh my gosh, I knew it. They talk to you, bro.
That I'm ugly, that I have no talent, nothing will become of me. Is that true, Doctor?
I think that's just yourself projecting. Yes, it is true. No, it's not true.
I hear it so many times with that wretched painting. It's in my head. But thank you.
You gotta give yourself some self-confidence.
He was shy. And then less so. When I told him about my problem, he told me to set fire to it. Yeah, he could have been more specific. I tried to set fire to Providence. At that time, I thought the only way to fix my problem was to set fire to the entire art gallery. Several paintings didn't make it. Luckily, my boss didn't press charges. The police did arrest me, though.
So that's why you're here.
My boss, Petra, she's just lovely like that. Providence has gone through some tough times, and I've only been there a year. She invested her life savings, and it's still not making any money. Such a sweet lady. You'd do anything for her.
Like setting her passion on fire? Why?
Dr. Dekker told me to burn it. It was nothing to do with Petra.
What the shit?
No. Why are you saying that? I don't even know if Petra has insurance. I already ripped up the painting. It screamed as I cut it. And now whenever I close my eyes, I can see it, hear it. I need the tablets, Doctor. I need them. The temazepam, the sleeping tablets. The ones you gave me last time. Dr. Dekker gave them to me. They helped. I know it's in my head. I know paintings can't talk. What's wrong with me, Doctor? Why do I do this? Thank you, Doctor. I'll think about that. And the prescription, please?
She's in the green. I don't think we ever got into the green before.
I'm Lacey Hendricks. So you don't know about me then?
No.
Where to start? My next door neighbour in Jobson Hill, where I live, she was murdered. 80, and they diversion burgled her. But she was wise to it and started calling the police. They slit her throat with a bread knife. So I started a neighbourhood watch.
Okay.
It was me and Agnes. Everyone else thought we were overreacting. If they want their throats cut, that's up to them, living in their bubbles. But Agnes... Poor Agnes.
Crap, what happened?
She went missing, and still is. And that's what people think. But it's not the truth.
Did you kill her?
It killed them. It looks normal enough. A smartly dressed, door-to-door saleswoman. I know because I heard my other neighbours shout at her. No Jehovah's! They think anyone knocking is a Jehovah. But she said she was selling double glazing. I don't know. I didn't answer the door. Best not to nowadays. But I watched her go to Agnes's. Poor Agnes. She let her right into her house. I could only see the silhouette. It turned from a person into a, well, it looked like, I guess you'd call it a Medusa. Snakes for her face. And Agnes just fell to the floor. A few minutes later, the woman left, smiling like the cat that got the cream. That was the end of Agnes.
What the fuck?
Saw it with my own eyes. What more proof do I need? You're starting to sound like Dr. Dekker. He didn't believe me either. I didn't have much luck with him, like I said. He didn't believe me. He thought I was having a hallucination caused by the stress of my neighbour being so brutally murdered. Where is Agnes, though? I haven't found her, have they? Have they?
When she turned to stone, if she did she turn the dust when she fell? How am I supposed to know if they found Agnes or not?
They had a service that ran right up till midnight. For us less fortunates without a love in their life. Well, now. Do you have someone, Doctor? Do you have a love in your life?
Ope, we lonely as fuck.
Garden club. You should come with me one night. It's a lovely way to meet new people.
I don't want to meet new people with you. I'm so sorry. No, thank you.
So, should I get a solicitor, or shall we try and talk it out with him?
A solicitor.
I think we should get a solicitor. I know the perfect firm. I'll do it all. Don't worry about it. And that's why we've got insurance for these kinds of things anyway. But the cheek of it.
Yeah, it's not our fault that someone died. And I'm the new guy, so like,
Hey,
it's not my
you.
fault.
Thanks for helping me with this grief thing. I'm not sure I have it, though.
You're in denial. It's one of those...
I don't really know where to start. I feel a bit numb. Maybe we should just talk about him.
Okay.
It hadn't even been a year. He was a quiet, solitary man. A good listener, as I suppose you'd need to be. His confidence did grow as time wore on, but that's what you'd expect after you've fitted in. I mainly miss our chats. He used to work late with me and tell me things about the patients, things that I probably shouldn't have heard, but did. What do you think of the patients? Nah, perhaps you shouldn't say. You can ask me. Go on, I'll tell you what I think.
She likes a little bit of gossip. Ooh, I could tell her about them. Okay.
Mariana is a special girl. You know, there's something about her that just makes you want to follow her.
He's a
Maybe
siren,
that's what
bro.
a trendsetter looks like.
Or at least that's what she's trying to put off, the energy levels. She's trying to be like, I'm one with the sea, and blah, blah, blah.
I think Bryce has a lot of misdirected anger. I don't think I like him that much. You know, sometimes when things overrun, he's outside waiting for you, and he stares at me as if he's undressing me with his eyes. You know, he's not the first person that's done that, but still, you know, it feels worse coming from him.
Yeah. He likes taking pictures of women without their consent. It's really fucking disgusting.
Claire seems to be shaken by something. You know, I offer her drinks every time she comes in, but she always refuses them. It's as if she just wants to come in, get her session over with, and then run off to do something else. It's a bit rude, isn't it?
Well, she's rich. And says that she's rich almost every chance she gets. So she likes flaunting that. She's that kind of person, you know.
Elin seems like a lovely person. I'm not really sure why she's here.
Because she's fucking delusional. Just the nice ones you gotta be careful about. Super nice, don't seem like they have any flaws. Nah, dude, they're secretly killers or something. That's crazy.
Oh, I just want to cuddle Nathan all up. He's such a mess. He's always in the same clothes. You know, he barely talks to me though. It's the same hello every time. He reminds me of Tom.
Who's Tom? Wait, who is
Tom was a
Tom?
quiet mess, like Nathan. Youngish, in his early 20s. He taught piano, but he did have a strange hobby.
What was his strange hobby?
Tom liked to base jump. That's basically falling from a huge building or mountain and pulling your parachute before you hit the ground. He started to think he could fly. Dr. Dekker tried to talk him out of it, but Tom had to prove his point. So one day, Tom decided to base jump without a parachute. Can you guess what happened? He did die. He was hit by a rock from further up the mountain. He never got to fly. Nathan thinks he knows what his problem is too, but if he's not careful, he'll get hit by that rock. I wish I'd said goodbye.
Maybe you have a lot of grief and you just don't know it.
We'd worked late together on all
Underlining.
sorts of things. He was preoccupied with finding patterns in patients, trying to find some kind of order. Mainly he was searching for a common experience the patients might have had. That's what led them to his office. He'd study everything, even the referral letters.
What the fuck?
Yes, letters, parking tickets, holiday destinations. You know, I find those referral letters. He was sure there was a pattern in them.
I'm pretty sure they're in it all together.
I wish I'd said goodbye to Dr. Dekker. It was so sudden. You know, here, then gone. He resigned anyway, but that's not the same, is it?
Wait, he resigned? Why did he resign?
Dr. Dekker resigned shortly before his murder. You know, it's sad. But doctors come and go, and only poor Jaya remains. I've
But
got his
why?
resignation letter somewhere. You know, I do all the hiring and firing around here. Well, Professor Alderby and the Trust technically do that. Professor Alderby is a trustee. Did I not mention that?
Wait, what? But isn't he...
On Valentine's Day, Dr.
Patient
Dekker
too?
had a session with Claire Castleford at 11 and that nurse, Elin, at 3. Everyone else cancelled. You should see this place Christmas Eve. I was at home though, so I don't actually know who came in. Dr. Dekker did phone and ask me for Nathan's number, which is a bit strange.
Huh.
She was cuddling him like he was 6. He's 25. Most of the patients are suspects, according to the police. Almost all the patients are referred, and some of them are privates, but Dr. Dekker didn't introduce any of them. So you watched the tapes. Gold star for you. It smashed.
Huh. Ask Lacey about the neighborhood watch. I'm gonna answer no.
They haven't found her because that thing ate her. Or made her disappear or something. Her useless husband managed to survive unscathed, though.
Damn, there's so much rage in her eyes. It's crazy.
Don't know much about him, other than the fact that he looks at me like I'm 6 foot under every time we meet. He doesn't seem too bothered she's gone missing either. He did at first, when the police were crawling around. But now
Typical.
they've gone, that's stopped. If I hadn't seen that thing eat her, I'd... No. He's a Weasley little man. He spends far too much time in his garden. It's probably like the National Trust back there. The constant digging and building, pruning and sawing. What a thing to say! Why would you say that? I kept watching the front door after that saleswoman had left and nothing. She didn't leave, and you can't get out the back since the council sold the garage block. Ron's a gardener, not a killer. Unless...
Yeah, he could be in on it.
Agnes said Ron was laying the foundations for a new greenhouse. You don't think... I need to call the police. I need to call them now. But they won't listen to me. I tried to tell them about the monster, but they didn't believe me. They won't believe me about this, I promise you. Please, could you call them, Doctor?
We just made a deduction. Yeah.
Thank you, Doctor. Now give me a pen and I'll write down the details for you. Don't you want to know why Dr. Dekker called me the leech lady?
I'm sorry, what?
He said that I leech thoughts from people.
I'm sorry,
Suck
what?
them right out
bro?
of their heads.
Fuck,
And I
are
can
you
put thoughts
talking
in there too. I'm not that clever though, am I, Doctor? I mean, it's not as if I was having an affair with Ron and Agnes was in the way and needed to disappear. So I made this story up. I mean, what do you think I do for a living anyway?
What the fuck?
Why did you guess that, Doctor? Because I've got time on my hands. Enough time to worry and protect my neighbours with a neighbourhood watch scheme. You're wrong. But I'll remember that.
What the fuck? Is she a Telltale character? What is this? She's green. I pushed her too hard. Hold on. I could go to the next day, but... Did Dr. Dekker call you?
Dr. Dekker felt that Hannah was holding me back. The memories of Hannah. In his opinion, I was holding on to the past. So I guess he cursed me. If that's even a thing.
I said call you, not curse you. Lacey. Can't call her. Can't ask her questions now. Resignation letter. To the main concern, except this. That's too short. Someone else did it. He didn't even give an answer. He seems like the kind of person he would give an answer. He's all about, logic and shit. There's no fucking way, dude. There's no way he did that. There's no way.
It hunts,
I can change my skin.
then skins.
Dr. Dekker dated his patients.
I had a hot date.
We went out for drinks.
I took photos of Jessica.
Dr. Dekker did
On
phone
Valentine's Day.
and ask me for Nathan's number.
There was a girl there.
Am I wrong to keep the locket?
I'm allowed to talk to her, aren't I?
He was preoccupied with finding
Photographs,
patterns.
rocking chair.
I haven't been back to the beach since,
I had a bit of a shaky loop incident.
where I find something
I set fire
beautiful in the sea.
to Hannah's clothes in the garden.
I dug the grave.
I wish I'd said goodbye.
Dr. Dekker cursed me.
It didn't weigh enough to have a body in it.
Oh, Doctor, you surprised me. Reminds me of Officer Yates. Did I ever mention I had a special friend in the police force? Nah, it's not something you drop politely into a conversation. He's been doing some digging and he's found a couple things. There's a crime scene report that goes into all the gory details and another report that's about a patient you're seeing today, Claire. I'll put them both on the desk for you. And thanks for the grief counselling, by the way. It's really been helping, you know, I'm so glad you're here.
Act 3 spiked. Jaya is like the best. She's the best. It's like a pellet cleanser or something. Professor Warwick! Oh my god. I get to ask Professor Warwick things? What does he look like? Is it the Rand guy? It's the Rand guy! Yeah! Oh my god, isn't he super handsome? I don't know, it's just me. Oh my god. Okay, sorry.
I've told you all I know about Dr. Dekker. He started out good, then turned a bit crazy towards the end. When you start giving people more problems as a therapist, that's a bit crazy. I started out with depression. Now I seem to repeat days. Even if you don't believe the repeat days, then I clearly have extra mental health problems that he's given me. I think that he possibly cursed other people, a bit like he cursed me. Sometimes you could see he was bursting to tell me about it, but he couldn't. He was ecstatic with power.
Huh. Maybe he needed therapy.
Well remembered. I was hoping he'd forget. It's going to sound crazy. Dr. Dekker said I would never be able to move forward until I came to terms with my grief. And so from this point on, I start to relive the same day over and over again until I made something of it. I believed him. I didn't want to believe him. I remember I said, you can't just say things and they happen. He laughed and laughed. I think he was going mad. He said he'd give me a demonstration. He held his hand outstretched and told me to look at the flame. There was no flame, and then there was. He was holding a flame in his hand that had come out of nowhere. And he tried to hypnotize me to make me forget it. I didn't forget seeing the flame. He wanted me to forget it all, but I didn't. For whatever reason, he couldn't undo what he'd done. I was scared. I pretended like the hypnosis had worked. I was scared what Dr. Dekker would do to me if he found out I still knew. So I had to play along, keep coming to the sessions, pretend I hadn't seen what he'd done. It was awful, because I was suffering through the same days over and over again. But I couldn't talk to him about it, because he'd know.
Oh my god. This man gave him Stockholm Syndrome, bro. Oh my god, no. Oh my god, do you need a real therapist? Dude, that's fucked up, bro. Did you?
I burned
He
Hannah's
was doing
rocking
some
chair.
experiments with
The
their
day moved
minds.
forward. It was a good choice. I'm not sure I've got much left of hers now. I've burnt most of it, or given it away, just to make the days move forward. There was a moment when I was attacking a Salvation Army bin, but I gave in.
Dude, he looks like he just doesn't want to be here.
I accidentally put Hannah's diary into a Salvation Army donation bin. They're like huge post boxes with a circular tray that makes sure things spill to the bottom. I tried to get in to get it back, but I gave up.
Never give up. No.
I read the last few weeks of Hannah's diary a while ago. I must have accidentally dropped in some clothes for the Salvation Army bin. It's funny, because I wasn't going to read it. She said she'd fallen out of love with me. That she was going to break off the engagement. But she didn't love me anymore.
Damn.
I regretted it.
Dude, Sag. Are you sure you didn't know that?
I regretted that I mourned for Hannah so long. I regret the grief. I regret all the days I slept through because of it. Had I known she didn't love me anymore, things would have been different. I'm a bit angry now. If I had that day over again, I may just still pull out in front of the driver. I didn't notice Dr. Dekker had a paper spike. I haven't really seen more than a foot in front of me since Hannah died. Can we maybe not talk about Hannah anymore? And thanks for the dating advice, by the way. You told me not to look for anyone else until I was ready. So I didn't. I've just been sitting at home, reading Hannah's diary, stewing. I ordered a pizza. A nice girl delivered it.
Please don't tell me I said until
He'd
you were
become
ready. I
bored
didn't
of
want
me.
to.
So I got much of my insight from calls or messages he'd take during our sessions. I think because he hypnotized me, he didn't want to play with me anymore. So I got basic therapist.
Huh.
He told me lots of people get depression. To become more active, see more people. And although he wouldn't always be there to listen, Jaya would be.
Huh. I thought Jaya...
Yeah, I talked to her quite a lot. I'm not sure how many days of that she'd remember. She seemed to care, which is more I can say for Dekker. I didn't kill Dr. Dekker. I wanted to be as far away from him as possible. I don't know who did. It took a week of days to get that pizza girl to smile. And you know what did it? A tip, as much as the pizza cost. So money does make you happy.
Huh.
Dr. Dekker used to put my checks on that thing. I guess someone thought they weren't getting value for money. I actually don't have a lot of money. Sometimes a therapy check would bounce, but Dr. Dekker would be okay with it. Oh, my checks are fine though, don't worry.
Okay.
I'm not broke. Men buy me drinks at bars though. Sometimes I'll get away with not paying at restaurants.
Jesus,
Isn't that how it is for everybody?
You know it's not, you fucking minx, dude. Get the
I
fuck
mainly
out of
like
here.
drive-thrus. I don't like crowds, and I find it difficult to stay in the same place for too long. I guess I'm a fidget. Crowds at nightclubs and bars are different. The lights are dim. You can slink around without attracting too much attention. Sometimes I'll kiss a guy in a club, and then he just follows me. Wherever I go. It's creepy. I don't want everyone seeing that. They follow me wherever I go. Anywhere. Where do you think they follow me, Doctor? It depends where they follow me. If they follow me home, they bang on the door for an hour or so, then leave. Other places, they just disappear. I don't see them again.
Don't tell me you bring them to the fucking
They don't just disappear into thin air. I think they return to the place I found them. But I've not run into the same person twice. You've got a good memory, Doctor. Let's talk dreams. Sometimes I'll dream about a light, deep in the ocean somewhere. I head towards it because it's warm and glowing, like a beacon. And when I'm at the bottom, it's the most beautiful thing.
Oh no.
Like
She
a
a
welcoming
Cthulhu
sun.
follower, dude.
Like I'm home. And then I wake up.
And she keeps wearing these long dresses that look like a mermaid could wear them. She's like she like moves all around a lot more than all the other patients. It's insane.
It's so beautiful. Calls me.
Oh my god.
It's like I'm in a trance. What does the dream mean, Doctor?
Mer siren. Searching for
I
something.
guess. I hate being in the same place for too long. Maybe I'm always searching for paradise or something. I'm okay. Thanks for asking. It's rent day, and I always feel a little blue on rent day. Rent day is the day I pay rent to my landlady.
Does your weird siren quirk work on the opposite sex and the same sex, or is it just the opposite sex?
I've had no blackouts, and I haven't been to the beach since our last session. But I think I will today. Do you want to come with me to the beach? Doctor, I think you're getting a little anxious. If you ever wanted to visit the beach, you can just turn up. It's not mine. It's just good manners to accept when someone offers to buy you a drink. I'm a very good-natured girl.
Uh-huh. Sure you are.
Don't you think I'm sweet, Doctor? I think you're falling for me, Doctor. Don't let that get in the way of helping me. Yes, they follow me home. They're silent. It's like a trance. There was one guy, a real gym buddy. I let him into the bedroom, but nothing. Nothing I did would stop him just staring at me. It was creepy. I got him to follow me outside, and then I just shut the door. Are we still talking about him? And I thought you were just interested in me, Doctor. Dr. Dekker suggested home visits. I think he was probably checking up on his investment. You're not thinking of doing home visits, are you, Doctor? That's good. I'm not sure I can afford any more of your time.
Huh. Oh my god, I can't wait to talk to him. Oh, I'm gonna talk to him right
Professor Warwick, I'm a physicist. Where's Dr. Dekker?
now. Please don't leave.
Is he really? Actually dead? Not a worthy adversary after all, then?
Oh my god, he plays a crazy person. I
Dr.
love
Dekker
this.
challenged me. He tried to use my theories against me. Quantum theories.
He's a quantum theorist, man. Oh my god.
Do you really want to know? Dekker's eyes used to glaze over whenever we talked about that. He didn't believe in quantum physics. As if it's something that you can optionally believe in. Well, it started with an experiment.
Tell me
Have
more.
you heard of quantum suicide, Doctor?
What?
Well, then I'll be brief. According to the laws of quantum suicide, if I were to shoot myself now, then one branch of my timeline would result in my death, whilst the other in my continued existence. I simply applied that logic to something different.
Oh.
Gambling. I set up an experiment whereby I would visit a casino and place a very large bet at a roulette table. Now, I would always bet on odd. Now, the results of this particular experiment were mundane. I won as many times as you would expect according to the laws of probability. But then, I changed a parameter.
What?
Quantum suicide required a loss of life to make it a realistic thought experiment. So I simply upped the stakes. Now, every time I bet on odd, I would place everything I had on that one spin of the wheel, and it worked. Well, for a while. Why not gambling? My wife Vanessa left me for a neurosurgeon. She emptied our entire combined wealth into her barrister's wallet. I needed more money. Physics provided me with a solution. We were married for 14 years, 7 months, and 3 days. Vanessa couldn't have children. At least that's what she told me. She grounded me in reality. I'm not complaining. It's probably what I needed. But part of me always thought that one day I'd achieve immortality through science. It wasn't to be, though. Well, yes, it bothered me, especially now that I find out that she's pregnant. Oh, no, it wasn't a rocket scientist that was required, but a brain surgeon, it seems. I have considered putting that neurosurgeon onto his darkest timeline. But I'm not a killer, it would seem.
Huh.
Dr. Dekker killed it, and I can't get it back. Well, my theory, quantum gambling. If the stakes are high enough, you will win every time by simply shifting your consciousness into that branch that wins. It's tricky, but it can be done. Dr. Dekker didn't like that. He saw me becoming rich and powerful, and he hated that. That's why he proffered the hangman's paradox. Well, imagine a judge sentences you to death. Now, it will be Monday or Tuesday next week, but it will be a surprise. Well, which day do you think you'll be executed?
Tuesday.
Well, it can't be Tuesday, because if you're still alive on Monday at midnight, then you know you'll be executed on Tuesday, so it won't be a surprise. Well, conversely, it can't be Monday either, because, well, you'll be expecting it to be Monday by deduction. Hence, a paradox.
Huh.
Dr. Dekker tricked me. He told me that sometime in the future I would lose a bet, that I would lose all of my money. Now, this didn't seem likely because I had quantum gambling on my side and it was working. But he unnerved me. He made me doubt myself. And then it happened. Recently, I lost everything that I'd managed to build up since Vanessa left me.
How much are we talking?
Honestly?
How much are we talking?
Well, I think he feared quantum physics. He didn't like things being explained in terms of science, almost as if he'd have preferred chaos. I was at a fundraiser for a charity called Mind Stretch Outreach. Don't know how I got roped into that. I can't remember. But it was full of very clever children with bizarre outlooks on life. And Jaya. It was Jaya who asked me to go. It's full of poor kids with very capable minds. I did give them a talk on quantum tunneling once, and they loved it. Not sure it'll put dinner on the table for any of them, though. Oh, you're going to have to Google that, Doctor, I'm afraid. I'm not a walking Wikipedia. I'd love to tell you, but I am paying you by the hour. Maybe look up Schrodinger's cat whilst you're there. Oh, she's Dr. Dekker's lovely assistant. I imagine she's your lovely assistant now. Yeah, she always smiles and makes me a cup of tea before a session. Smile. Which reminds me, my session. Can we talk about my problem now? I'm not a gambler, Doctor. I'm a scientist. I need more money. It's true I've run out of money for my research. An opportunity has arisen. Quantum gambling. It's a pet project. It's got nothing to do with work. But if I don't have significant amounts of money to lose, then there won't be enough jeopardy for the experiment to work. A very wealthy group of individuals have offered to pay me a very large sum of money if I attend their next private soiree. They don't want a talk or anything like that. They want a practical demonstration. They'll pay me £1 million if I can successfully survive 6 rounds of Russian roulette. Now, I am worried because of what Dr. Dekker said, but, well, I can't help but thinking that the stakes are so high I can't possibly lose. What do you think, Doctor? Should I take them up on their offer?
You're gonna die, bro. No, don't take their offer.
No, I suppose you're right. In a darker timeline, you probably said yes, and I'm dead now.
Yep.
I earn good money where I work. How do I stop losing it?
Stop gambling?
I take your point. But I suppose to decide whether to continue gambling or to stop gambling is a gamble within itself, isn't it? Well, my time is up. Will we be having another session or... No, don't answer that. It'll turn you into a gambler like me. Infectious. Isn't it?
He just disappeared. What?
I'm fine. I'm ready for my grief counselling. I emailed you Mariana's address. I don't know why you'd want it. I suppose you're going to start doing home visits now, like Dr. Dekker?
I said I wasn't going to do that. What the fuck? That wasn't me.
Doctor, if you don't want it, don't text me and ask for it. It's all right. I don't mind doing menial tasks for you. Someone has to do them.
What the fuck?
Yes, Dr. Dekker started doing home visits for Mariana. He said she couldn't concentrate properly in his office. I hope you're not thinking of doing the same thing. I need you right where I can see you. Checks and balances, Doctor. Somebody needs to be watching the watchman, so to speak. Make sure you're helping, not hindering. He probably did his fair share of helping and hindering. He was definitely helping in the beginning, but then seemed to lose sight of things. I think he was so overwhelmed by the patients he was getting. His curiosity just got the better of him. There was a definite turning point.
When was the turning point?
Somewhere around the time Professor Alderby turned up. That seemed to unsettle him. And then we had a flood of extra weird patients. I think it was all too much for him. I think I misjudged him. I hope you deal with it better. Grief is such a strange word if you keep saying it. Grief, grief, grief. It sounds like somebody's being whipped. And you're going to ask me how I feel today? I think that's all settled now. We are agreeing to pay Ben £5,000 and he's agreeing not to say anything about what he saw. He thought he saw a creature coming out of Dr. Dekker's mouth. Well, at least that's the reason he's given for not emptying the bins that night. Either way, it's not the kind of publicity that we need. Shiny, happy, sane people. It's in that police report that I gave to you. You should really take a look at it.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot. Christian Weber, police officer 7691, 691. To the best of my knowledge, this statement is true. I understand I may be prosecuted if I state anything that I know to be untrue. At 20:40 hours on Tuesday, 8th November, myself and PC Holt, responded to a call received from a neighbor of the Bower House, Weston Park Avenue, concerning a reported disturbance. We arrived at the address, knocked on the front door, but there was no reply, then examined the rear of the property and gained entry through insecure patio doors. We entered the property through the door, and I announced myself by shouting, "Police!" but did not hear a response. We searched the premises. Upon entering the dining room, I saw a female seated next to a man who was lying on the ground, beating conscious. Both persons were drenched in blood. There was a substantial amount of blood on the carpet, walls, and furniture. I noted what appeared to be a steak knife on the floor, which was also covered in blood. At this point, I asked the woman to put her hands on her head, which she did. PC Holt secured the female while I checked the man's sign for life, but found none. I asked the woman her name, and she identified herself as Claire Castleford. I asked if the woman knew the dead man, and she said that he was her husband, David Castleford. I asked what happened, and she said that she had killed him. So he's dead? What the fuck? I thought said to the, which revealed other persons present at the house. I said, suspicions of murder. What the fuck? Victim was located in his office, seated in the chair next to the death, soaked in blood. Obvious chest wound. Paper segment of death. Region of the victim's heart. What the fuck? So they're trying to lay on thick that it might be Claire. But I think that's too easy for it to be Claire.
Some mornings I come into work and still expect him to be here. Sometimes it feels like he actually is here, watching over me. We had a connection. It's gone now, though. You can't have a connection with the dead, can you? Not for too long, anyway. Dr. Dekker asked me to have dinner with him for Valentine's. I refused, obviously, because you don't sleep where you eat or something like that. But it was flattering, especially with competition like Mariana around.
Competition, huh?
Sorry, I didn't mean I was competing. I was happy Mariana was going out with him. I didn't want to be romantic with him. We had a stronger connection than that. Dr. Dekker and I shared some philosophy. We'd both read The Cult of the Kinetic Mind, and we agreed with a lot of what it said. Have you read that book, Doctor?
No, I have not.
In Cult of the Kinetic Mind, the author suggests that everyone is capable of psychokinesis and that the cult leaders specifically had these powers that turned their followers into disciples. It's not a fun read, but if you're into psychology, it's a blast.
I wonder if it's actually real. Keep accidentally doing that.
I was at home on my lonesome, Doctor, like I said before. Psychokinesis is the ability to change the physical world without actually touching it, just by using your mind. It's not just about bending spoons. It covers all sorts of things like telepathy, telekinesis, telesabalas. Shoot me, I'm a Kojak fan. Like I said, all those cool things are in Cult of the Kinetic Mind, apart from Kojak, obviously. If you ever get a patient who thinks they can change the world with just their mind, then duck, just in case they can. But seriously, do a whole load of shrinking and make them better. Whether you believe in psychokinesis or not, you'll need to figure out your approach with those that do. How do you make people who think they have special powers better? Do you remain passive and support, encourage them, take them away? Things could escalate. Building trust is one thing, but at what cost?
Better content?
No, not at all in my experience. Dr. Dekker had an unusual number of patients who claimed psychokinesis.
Oh, really?
Either he'd been specifically looking for them or someone had been sending them.
It's a lot of work.
It's entirely possible that someone is targeting this practice with psychokinetic patients. To what end, I don't know. It's no coincidence that most psychokinetic patients are diagnosed as insane, or at least temporarily insane. It's a handy diagnosis if you're facing criminal prosecution, especially if it's for murder.
Yeah, like Claire.
Honestly, I think Dr. Dekker had a bit of a crush on Mariana, or vice versa. I'm not really sure. There's some footage from their home sessions if you want to see them.
Yes.
That was a joke, Doctor. I guess we found our level.
Damn it. I thought I could actually get to the bottom of this weird siren
That was a
shit.
strange thing to say, wasn't it? Whipped. Am I all whips and chains in the bedroom or dominant in the boardroom? Don't answer that, it's not a question. It's early days for a harassment suit yet, what with Ben's nervous shock already. Dr. Dekker did send me to see his mother once. She was dying in a nursing home and he didn't want to see her. I remember him calling her a manipulative, evil old hag. You tend not to ask any more questions after that.
What was her name? What was her name?
I didn't really speak to Nathan that much at all, but I have this strange feeling that I know him really well. I can't quite put my finger on it.
What's Dr. Dekker's mom's name?
Dr. Dekker did send me to see his mother once. She was dying.
Huh. How
Hello,
are you?
Doctor.
Bryce.
I've been thinking about our last session, and I just wanted you to know that I'm not a bad person. I know taking naked photographs is wrong, but you don't know what it's like until you face the same temptation. I'm assuming you don't know what it's like. Do you have an extra hour, Doctor?
Boy, I wish.
Thank God for that. There's someone else in my hour. A hooded figure, watching me and following me. I followed it too. I don't know who it is. My initial thought was that it was you. That I told you about my affliction and somehow you'd got it too. Now I think maybe it's the military or some organization that wants to use the hour themselves. Maybe it's Dr. Dekker risen from the dead. I need to talk to you about him. Dr. Dekker frequently used that paper spike on his desk as an example. I'm sure he did it with the other patients too. He'd make me look at it, touch the point to see how sharp it was. He'd tell me that because I think it's sharp, it will hurt me. But if I thought it was nothing, it could pass right through my hand.
What the fuck was he on?
I'm surprised I haven't
Like
been
the
approached
therapist
earlier.
was
I mean,
more
my
insane
skills
than
and the
them.
military. Special ops would be a breeze, wouldn't it? Waltz in past everyone during the midnight hour, get whatever you want, and return to friendly soil. It also makes me think that they might already know all of that, and that they want to get rid of me in case I tell anyone else. Would you do something for me if they get me?
Sure.
Would you tell Jessica I love her? She didn't really know me that well, but I did love her. And also, there's a hard drive in the bottom drawer of my drinks cabinet. Please destroy it. Please, don't look at it. I spied on Dr. Dekker, not long before he was murdered. I'm not sure I should tell you what I saw in his basement.
I'm sorry, what did you
I've
see in
been
his
feeling
basement? I
uneasy
need to
with
know
Dr.
now.
Dekker for some time. I mentioned how he'd changed before, so I began spying on him at home. One night, the basement door was open, and Dekker was returning upstairs. I skipped past him, and there she was, a girl. It was difficult to tell. It was dark, and she was chained. I removed the chains, dressed her, and sat her in the police station. There's no evidence, though. No evidence of what he'd done. But she was free. I saved her. I'm not evil. I destroyed evil. Whatever it is that's following me, it doesn't want to catch me yet. If I move towards it, it runs away. And when I follow it past temptations. A bar brawl, an open till, an open bedroom window. Like it's testing me. I'm actually a classically trained pallbearer. There are a lot of health and safety considerations. Not everybody can do it. Well, properly at least. Occasionally I step in if the funeral director is short-shouldered. I do remember her face. She wasn't upset in the usual way. She seemed agitated. Her husband must have been a giant. The coffin was so heavy. I remember because aft port side sprained his ankle. That and he wasn't lifting correctly.
2 bodies.
I split the brawl up. I did nothing. I'm not stealing any more. I looked in. Watching other people is somehow built into our genes, Doctor. There was an old woman in bed. I went inside.
Oh my god.
Her bed covers were smoking. I think she'd fallen asleep holding a cigarette. I took the covers and put them in the bath. She'd have died otherwise. And no, I didn't take any pictures. I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, Doctor. I saw Claire Castleford's husband in the coffin myself before carrying him to the grave. He is in the ground. I'm sure it wouldn't take much for the police to get an order to have him exhumed. Just make sure it's done on Tuesday morning when I'm off. Jessica is a beautiful woman. I've not spied on her since the incident we talked about. I have real feelings for her, Doctor. We've never connected.
You're really sounding like a stalker, my guy.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. It's nice you think I'm capable of such basic interaction with females. But I'm still in awe of her, really.
Oh, you
I
can't
will think
start
about it, though.
making her think like she's a... You can't idolize someone you like. It's gonna get into the weird, like, they're a goddess, or they're a god, they're too good for me. I'll do anything by killing someone for them, kind of like attitude, and it's just not good. It's not healthy.
I put my hand through a rusty nail at work today. It hurt like hell and bled like I'd been shot. I closed my eyes and thought, this isn't happening. The nail is just a worm, and it will wriggle through me. When I looked back, can you guess what I saw?
More blood?
When I looked back at my hand, it was healed. Look, see?
What the fuck?
My hand had healed. The nail had become a worm and was wriggling in my palm. It was like a little miracle. Like magic. I shouldn't really say miracle or magic. They're words that Dr. Dekker used when he tried to get you to think things and make them real. But do you think it's real, Doctor? That magic is real? Then so it is. Close your eyes. Imagine you're in a graveyard, looking at the gravestones. One catches your eye, so you take a picture of it, a picture that you now have.
What the fuck?
I find using nautical terms to describe the position of pallbearers fitting. Plus, most of them are 3 sheets to the wind. You know, drunk.
What the fuck is happening?